now for 2-7, we're gonna despawn a couple of bullet bills near the end of this first room. And to do that, it requires a little bit of egg management. So notice here I start with 2 eggs. You could have 3 or 4 probably, and still have this work, but you're just gonna have to change a few, just adjust a few things in this room to make it work out. So right away I just tongue this big shy guy. I try to tongue it from a little bit away, like not right when I get to it, just so that I have time to throw a neutral right after. Because if I wait until I'm right next to the shy guy, and then tongue it and then throw neutral, I'll probably end up throwing the neutral too late. So about when you're right in line with the sign, I throw the neutral. And that's just gonna clear out all these milds. Usually there will be one left that the egg doesn't kill, so I just jump over that one. So I just swallowed the big egg. Or I swallowed the big shy guy, which gives me a big egg. So since I started with 2 eggs, and I shot one, now I have 1 little egg, and it's in front of the big egg in my line of eggs. So the next egg I throw is going to be this little egg. But I don't need to throw this little egg, and I want to throw this big egg later. So at some point, I'm going to cycle this egg to the back of my lineup, so that the big egg is the next one I throw. So I'm just going to make a couple of eggs here. You want to make as many eggs as you can. And then I have a little extra time here. So what I'm going to do is aim this little egg, and then press Y while I'm aiming it, and that'll just cancel the aim, and this egg will move to the back of the lineup. To do this, some people like to claw, which means you reach your pointer finger over and use that to press Y, and just press A with your thumb. I find that uncomfortable, so I just press both with my thumb. I often end up having my thumb over the X button and accidentally pressing it sometimes, but since X doesn't do anything in this game, it doesn't really matter. So I just did it right there. You can see I was aiming the egg for a few frames. I did it pretty quick. See if we can watch it again. Here we go. So I swallow this egg, then I start aiming an egg, and then I just cancel it. I also scrape this wall, which you don't want to do. I just killed all my speed. So I eat this egg, and now I have a total of 5 eggs, which ideally you would have 6, since the more eggs you have, the easier it is to despawn the bullet bills at the end of the room. But you can make it work with 5. So I'm gonna throw a neutral with this big egg. Why is this not working? So the timing for it isn't super precise. I usually do it about when I'm near the end of this platform here, but you can throw it a little later or earlier and it seems to work. So my movement here is kind of difficult. I walk off of this platform and jump off of this one, and then I land over here and do a right-left to get up here. It's easier to just jump off of this platform and flutter a little bit to get up here, and it also can make the despawn a little more reliable. So it's up to you what you want to do. Then it also seems to make the despawn more reliable to land down here and then jump up here. Not sure why, maybe it spawns some extra enemies up there or something. But basically what this big egg did is when it lands, it turns everything on the screen into stars, or all the enemies on screen. And these stars don't despawn when they go off screen. Instead they just stay loaded in for a set amount of time and then despawn. It's probably like 5 seconds or something. So as long as you get to these bullet bill launchers before these stars have all despawned, then the game will be like too overloaded with sprites and it won't be able to load these in. Now, I only got one of these bullet bill launchers to despawn, which is fine. If I had 6 eggs, and if I had done the slightly slower movement, I'm sure I would have gotten both of them to despawn. But then It's really up to you if you want to go through the top one or the bottom one if this one despawns. It can be a little tough to avoid the slopes here, but you may also have to flutter a little bit to get through here. So for this room we have falling rocks again. Just like in 2-1, you want to run along these a little bit before you jump off, or they can eat your jumps. This one's especially dangerous because it's so short. Honestly, it's okay to just jump completely over this rock and just flutter over it. So it is possible to manipulate the camera here so that you can get under this rock and land here before it falls too low, but it's really tight to do and it can easily result in death. So I don't really recommend doing that. I just hug this rock to scroll the screen left so these rocks load in sooner, and then jump off of it, jump over it, and go in the pipe. And just bounce on this shy guy. These jumps are kind of tricky. You want to do a very short jump to land here, and then jump over the middle. And it's nice to back tongue this fly guy to get another egg. I think there's also, like, you could probably tongue this Lakitu if you wanted another egg. It's nice to have as many eggs as you can coming out of this level. So here, to skip the mid-ring, you want to wait until Yoshi comes to a complete stop, and then press B and right at the same time, and you'll jump right over it. It's important that you wait just a little bit before jumping, because if you go too fast, we're going to walk under this bubble here, and if you go too fast, this bubble kind of goes up and down, and it'll be too low when you get here and you'll end up collecting it. So that's the reason we wait a tiny bit. If you do grab the mid-ring, then you do want to just make sure that you slow down at some point so that you don't end up grabbing this. We're just going to walk under it a little bit and then immediately turn around. And this is just to get enough leftward momentum so that you can get up on this help box without having to flutter. And then just jump a little bit to the left and get some rightward momentum so you can jump up here without having to flutter again. So this is a pretty tricky shot. What I do is I just jump off the top of this hill, and then as I'm falling, I throw pretty much a horizontal egg. And you want to hit these tap-taps. Optimally you hit the third or the fourth one, because then you can get over them without having to left-right at all. Here I have to do a little left-right to get over this tap-tap. And because I slowed down there, I end up also having to slow down on this pinwheel. I do a little left-right to get up there as well. If you don't want to do this egg shot, there's also a big shy guy at the end of the last room that you could eat, and then just throw the big egg here to kill all these guys. Or, if you're in a pinch, you can just jump from the top of this hill and flutter over them. Then just run to the right, try to avoid the slopes. And here we're just going to walk off of this ledge and do a little left-right to avoid this wall. And then we're at the end of the level. I have 4 eggs here. It's probably better to have 5 for 2-8, but it's not a huge deal. And that's it for 2-7. Thanks for watching.